What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players on the WCS Pro circuit, spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Acid Plant LE, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He's very well known, guys, playing with the Protoss pieces, and is a fan favorite amongst StarCraft 2 fans. His name is Neeb. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He is currently the youngest StarCraft 2 pro gamer in the world and wants to continue his reign and his dominance because it may very well just be starting. His name is Reynor. So guys and girls, I am extremely excited about this series in particular, which was played at the WCS in Valencia. I'm sorry, it wasn't actually Valencia, it was the WCS in Montreal, and this was actually round one of the bracket play. So I'm really excited to see what both of these players decide to do, because of course someone like Reynor, who is very new to the scene, is an incredible player, who's really kind of just up and coming, I guess you could say, whereas Neeb's been in the scene now for a while and has really dominated, you know, numerous tournaments. He's been a little bit more quiet here this year, but at the same time, I gotta say, this is a kid who is an absolute force to be reckoned with the Protoss pieces. So nonetheless, guys, let's see what both our players are doing. We got a probe here across on the opposite side of the map here, and it looks like he actually just got surrounded by some drones. Very well done there by Reynor. But it does look like a hatch gas pool is what's going to be coming out of Reynor here. Relatively standard on his side. On the opposite side, it looks like a gateway, most likely into in a simulator, which looks like what Neeb did, into the cybernetics core. And then, of course, the natural nexus. So, relatively standard on both sides of the map here. There's a lot of, you know, the ZVP matchup is a very interesting one. I've absolutely loved, you know, the ZVP like matchup is very interesting in, you know, the different kinds of builds that the players will go for. It changes so much, and of course it looks like Reynor is planning on playing somewhat of a macro focus game, going for a very quick third hatchery here. But that being said, nothing's really out of the ordinary, at least quite yet. One thing to keep in mind, the Stargate has gone up now for Neeb. So I'm wondering what we're going to see out of there. I'm assuming Oracles, possibly Phoenixes. Will be interesting to see what he decides to do out of that Stargate. We do have Reynor coming into the main base expansion, though, and he's going to see exactly what's going on. You can't really get much past a guy like Reynor in these current kinds of situations. So, looks like, nonetheless, we're going to get ourselves possibly a macro focus game here. Looks like the two most standard upgrades by both the Zerg and the Protoss are going to be coming up here. Warp Gate research is coming, as well as the Zergling speed upgrade for the Zerg. So, more and more drones coming out, as well as probes. Looks like the Phoenix is what Neeb has decided to bring out of, or construct out of the Stargate, followed by an Oracle. So, look, guys, I gotta say, you know, when you're looking at this from the standpoint of who might get the early game advantage, you know, it's going to be very even, I feel, throughout the course of this series, but especially this game as well. This is a best of 5 series, by the way, guys. Just so all of you know, looks like there is a handful of Zerglings that are going to start moving across the map here. I am wondering if Neeb is going to catch this. It looks like he did catch it with the Phoenix, so he is going to know about this. But I think that there's going to be plenty of defense here with these Adepts. Most likely, Reynor is just going to try to get some scouting information and see when the timings of possibly that third base will go up here, and see if they can catch one of the probes trying to construct the third base nexus here. So, it looks like Reynor is probably going to go ahead and try to drone up and get, you know, basically fully saturated on 3 bases. And it does look like at this point we have the lair coming up for Reynor, as well as the Roach Warren. And it looks like that Spore Crawler is going to shoo away at that Oracle. But as I said, I mean, relatively standard right now. I'm not seeing anything completely out of the ordinary. There is a War Prism that's going to be coming up here, so I'm wondering if we're going to get some drop play, possibly a warp in. Does look like some of these Zerglings are trying to get the kill on that probe. Does not look like that is going to work out. The probe is probably going to go ahead and get that third base nexus up and running here relatively shortly here. And it looks like once again Reynor is sacrificing one of his overlords to see exactly what's going on. He knows that something's coming out of the robotics facility. There is a Templar archives and a couple more gateways coming up here for our Protoss players. So looks like Reynor has decided to go with the Roaches, and now we see, of course, the Roach upgrade coming out of the Roach Warren. Does look like Reynor's going to see that there is going to be some drop play here. So I think there's going to be enough defense here. We're just going to have to kind of keep an eye here as far as these Archons go, because they can do a substantial amount of damage if you are not careful. Looks like there's plenty of defense, though. Evolution Chambers coming up here for Reynor as well. But it looks like Reynor's really got, he's got Zerglings kind of scattered throughout the map, trying to figure out if there's any timing pushes by the Protoss player. I gotta say, we're starting to see Immortals coming out of that robotics facility. I like that decision a lot. The Immortals can be so scary. Those Archons are starting to do a little bit of some damage here. And just like that, the War Prism went down. Very well done there by Reynor. Does look like the mass recall was sent in, but he did get one of those Archons. So very well done there by Reynor. And it looks like really Neeb is just trying to keep his opponent at home and not, putting too much pressure on himself. Looks like a fourth hatchery is going to be coming up here for Reynor as well. The longer this game goes, I'm starting to like Reynor's position currently. He's getting the Hydra Den as well as the Infestation Pit, so he can kind of decide whether he wants to go into the high-tech Hive units relatively soon. Looks like there might be a run-by here with some of these Roaches. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. There are some Sentries as well as some Archons over here, but I wonder if this is going to be... This might actually be something that might hurt a little bit. There is going to be a couple of those force fields that are going to come in. Doesn't look like much has really come of this push yet by Reynor, but he is going to try to maybe micro back a little bit. More and more units are coming over to aid for Neeb. He's going to try to get the surround on all of these Roaches. Got to be very careful here. Roaches can be pretty heavy in supply, but just like that, all said and done, Reynor is in a fine position at this point for sure. So as I said, guys, the stakes are very high in this game. As I said, it's, the WCS in Montreal that happened pretty recently, and this was round one of the bracket play. So every game really counts because this is a best of 5 series. So, both players kind of getting a feel for one another. Also, kind of giving each other a little bit of that mutual respect, though, at the same time. A lot of these +1/+1 upgrades are coming up here. I'm starting to see Charge, as well as more of those High Templar are going to be coming out as well. But the Immortal play, I really like. This is starting to become a little bit of a scary little death ball here. But there's a lot of Hydras as well as some Roaches that are going to be coming across the map here. Looks like these Roaches are going to go ahead and get a pylon for free. The Revolution is on, of course, this army composition here of Reynor. So obviously Neeb knows exactly where the army is, and you're going to have to be very careful. There's some High Templar out, and these High Templar with some well-timed storms could really end this army very quickly. Now the supply right now, Reynor is ahead currently, but a lot of that supply is going to be in those Roaches. Roaches are very supply heavy. Now this is interesting. We're going to have some more draw play. I'm wondering if there's going to be a run-by with some of these Zealots here. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that as we go here. But I gotta say, at this point, guys, both players really giving each other a lot of respect. Now, here we go. The higher tech Hive units, as I said, are going to be coming up here. Greater Spire is going to be made. We have 8 of these Corruptors coming up, and I'm assuming there's going to be Broodlords. Now, we do see the run-by with some of these Zealots that have Charge are going to get surrounded on one of those Queens. I don't think there's going to be much done here, though. Looks like these Zealots basically just got one Queen, and that's essentially it. Did not get much more other than that. Now, there is the War Prism, but it looks like that War Prism is going to be under significant heat from those Corruptors, and Reynor's army is starting to build. We got +2 coming up here. You got 6 Brood Lords coming up here. Oh my god. The absolute swarm is going to be coming here. But with some well-timed storms, Neeb is definitely not out of this game just yet. He's got a pretty scary army. These Immortals are going to be so helpful for Neeb, but it does look like while this army is attacking the 4th base location, it looks like Reynor is going to jump on this opportunity and hit from 2 separate angles here. So the question is who's going to get the edge here? Looks like the mass recall is forced by Neeb, and it does look like Reynor is going to start taking a little bit of a lead here as he's pushing into the natural base expansion of Neeb. And the storm is coming up here by one of these High Templar. But there's going to be a lot of damage dealt here. He's got to be very careful that he doesn't lose too much here. The storms come in, really nice storms there by Neeb. But these Hydras and Roaches are going to have free range of a lot of these units. The storms really did hurt, though. I got to say that Neeb did a really good job with some of those storms, but some of those structures were taken out, and just as, you think that you're starting to make some moves, we of course have none other than the Brood Lords coming in, and this is where it's going to get scary. You got the Queens coming in as well. Those Queens are going to be coming in, and they're going to be able to defuse these Brood Lords, and then you got an army of Hydras as well as Roaches coming up behind it. There are Tempests out, so you got to figure that some of these Brood Lords might be under some significant pressure. Oh my god, the amount of pressure there by Neeb, getting some massive storms on top of those Brood Lords. The question is it going to be enough? Reynor is trying to overwhelm this army. There's still a lot of Immortals left as well as Tempest, but I gotta say, it's going to be so tight here. The supply of Neeb is starting to plummet, and GG is called. And just like that, Reynor takes a 1-0 lead over his opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Reynor and Neeb. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.